local man is facing arson charges after attempting to set his own car on fire.
And Carmichael's held its annual Covered Bridge Festival. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on Channel 14 News. I'm Anthony Kahn.
And I'm Matt Cole. A Manessa man was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in state prison Tuesday when he pleaded guilty in 3 separate drug cases that occurred in Charleroi Borough. 24-year-old Michael Standard pleaded guilty to 3 counts of the delivery of heroin. 2 charges stem up from separate drug sales that occurred in November of 2011, and the most recent incident was from August 2014 when Standard was arrested. In addition to his sentence, he must also forfeit the $650 police found when he was arrested by the Washington County Drug Task Force.
Carmichael's held its annual Covered Bridge Festival this past weekend. Those in attendance had a variety of food and crafts to choose from, as well as a performance from a live band. Horse-drawn carriage rides were also available. For decades, this festival has been held at the Greene County Art Academy in Carmichael's. This historic site is one of many in Greene County. Planning for next year's Covered Bridge Festival has already begun.
After allegedly trying to set fire to his car parked outside his home during a domestic dispute with his wife earlier this month, a Chartiers Township man faces arson charges. Denise Knotts Kelly testified that her husband, 52-year-old Roger Kelly of Washington Estates Mobile Home Park, was very intoxicated when the incident occurred. Sergeant Ronald Raymond smelled a strong odor of kerosene when he got out of his cruiser and found a can of kerosene along with a wet paper towel and a garbage can. Kelly remains in Washington County Jail on $100,000 bail with orders to have no contact with his wife.
2 new small businesses have recently come to Waynesburg. Personalities and Bonnie Bell's Country Store, both on High Street, have arrived this fall. Personalities offers many different kinds of purses to women's accessories, while Bonnie Bell's sells country antiques and collectibles. You can find more about these new businesses in this week's edition of the Waynesburg University Yellow Jacket newspaper.
Coming up next, Pope Francis holds his first Mass in the United States, and a coal company accidentally dumps coal into a North Carolina river. Stay tuned.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Pope Francis celebrated Mass in the United States. He's officially declaring Junipero Serra, an 18th century Hispanic missionary, a saint. It's the first time that ceremony, known as canonization, takes place on U.S. soil, and it's the first time a Hispanic American has become a saint. Chris Welch has the latest.
Thousands watched the sacred ceremony, including Vice President Joe Biden and Republican presidential candidate Jeb Bush. Pope Francis presided over an historic moment for the American Catholic Church. During his first Mass ever in the United States, he declared Junipero Serra a saint. That's the first time anyone has been canonized in the United States. But it comes with controversy. Native Americans say the Hispanic missionary, now the first Hispanic saint, mistreated their people. With each stop, a sea of screaming faithful greeted the pontiff. Earlier in the day, President Obama extended a warm welcome to the Holy Father.
We see a living example of Jesus' teachings, a leader whose moral authority comes not just through words, but also through deeds.
Pope Francis even quoted Martin Luther King Jr., urging more be done for the poor and the planet.
We can say that we have defaulted on a promissory note, and now is the time to honor it.
The Pope ended the day in typical Pope Francis fashion, making his way to the crowd to bless people before retiring for the night.
39,000 tons of coal ash spilled in North Carolina River in 2014. Since then, Duke Energy has been trying to clean it up. The company is in the process of moving the coal ash to Virginia, as well as a building and a lined landfill on site. Danielle Staub has the details.
Demolition continues at the Duke Energy Dan River Steam Station. The old coal plant was already decommissioned when coal ash spilled out from one of its basins into the Dan River in February of 2014.
Our goal is to make sure that material that is taken from this basin is taken carefully, but at a pace that allows us to complete that work by August of 2019.
2 basins and 2 stacks holding around 3 million tons of coal ash still sit at the site in Eden, North Carolina. North Carolina state law now requires the company to move that coal ash into lined landfills. Right now, crews are working to update the rail lines coming into the property. 1.2 million tons of coal ash will be transported to Amelia County, Virginia, to a lined landfill. The rest of the coal ash will stay here on site.
As we're doing that, we're going to be constructing a fully lined landfill here on the Dan River site property, and once that's completed, the remaining coal ash in these basins will be stored in that lined landfill.
Leaders say the transportation of coal ash into the Maplewood landfill in Virginia should start this October.
Now, this landfill is already accepting coal ash from other utilities. It's specifically designed to accept coal ash and has the appropriate environmental controls to make sure that's done safely.
Over the next 15+ years, Duke Energy will be closing all of their 32 coal ash basins at 14 different sites across the Carolinas. That cost is estimated anywhere from $3 to $10 billion.
Tennis star and UN Goodwill Ambassador Novak Djokovic delivered some much-needed goodwill to refugee and migrant children today. He visited a UNICEF-sponsored child-friendly space in Belgrade, Serbia. It provides toys, educational materials, and psychological support for the children. Their families are mostly fleeing violence in Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq. Djokovic said that he was touched by the plight of the children and called on the world to show compassion.
The New York Times is reporting that the FBI has recovered personal and work-related emails from then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's private server, according to U.S. officials familiar with that investigation. Clinton's camp had turned over passwords to authorities and were confident everything was recoverable. Data on the server was never wiped clean, however. Clinton's use of a private email during her 4 years as Secretary of State is being investigated by congressional committees.
Coming up next, a car chase resulted in one man behind bars, and a man was found dead in a wrecked car. You're watching Channel 14 News.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Wow, These are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
A car chase on the north side has resulted in one man behind bars. 30-year-old Gerald Elise Sanders started a police chase around 1 a.m. Wednesday and eventually crashed his truck into a gas station. After attempting to run away, Sanders was quickly taken into custody. Although Sanders did hit a portion of a gas station under construction, authorities say no damage was done to the tanks.
A man was found dead in a wrecked car with a gunshot wound in Moon Township last night. The body of 32-year-old Cameron Johnson of Coriopolis was found after police who were in the area on an unrelated matter heard gunshots just after 6:30. Johnson was found in a car that had crashed into a tree and was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of the incident is still unknown, but Allegheny County Lieutenant Andrew Sherman believes it was from, quote, some sort of domestic-related incident between an old boyfriend and a new boyfriend.
Students at a Hopewell High School are in the spotlight because of Snapchat. 4 high school boys have been disciplined for taking pictures of their classmates via Snapchat and then drawing scope-like targets over their faces. The popular social media app gives users the ability to take temporary pictures and then add art to them. Hopewell School District has not yet pressed charges, but will continue looking into this incident.
A 90-year-old Swickley Township woman was stuck in her car for more than an hour yesterday after it rolled into a creek at the bottom of a steep ditch. Anna Cole was backing her Buick LeSabre out of her driveway, but backed up a little too far, and the car went over an embankment on the other side of a narrow street, landing in a small branch of Swickley Creek. According to police, Cole had fallen into the back seat, but suffered no serious injuries. She complained of back pain and was taken to Excella Health Westmoreland Hospital in Greensburg.
Coming up, a group of Waynesburg University students was invited to a creative community sourcing program, and the athletic training department is adding a graduate program. Stay tuned.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. Yeah. Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, swap snacks Sunday. All the healthy children eat well and move a lot. And move a lot. And move a lot. Eat well and move a lot.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day.
Skip a rope Saturday, freeze tag Friday, tap dance Thursday. Whole grains Wednesday, try a veggie Tuesday. Let's move Monday, split the sweet Sunday.
Eat well and move a lot.
Today is Saturday. Yeah. Today is Saturday.
All the healthy children, all the healthy children. Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Oh, look, a redhead.
Staring contest.
You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
The Waynesburg University Public Relations Student Society of America was invited to an exclusive collegiate creative community sourcing program sponsored by Ketchum Global Research. This program will go a long way to helping Waynesburg public relations, advertising, and marketing students get real-world experience with professionals in their field.
The Waynesburg University Athletic Training Department is in the process of acquiring a graduate program in athletic training. While only in its infancy stage, this change will be highly beneficial to students because by the year 2022, students must have a master's degree to be eligible for their Board of Certification exam.
Despite recent rumors, library availability will not be changing. Rumors have suggested that the library will be extending the hours of operation. However, this is not the case. The library will, however, be expanding staff hours so that a librarian is available to assist students at all times.
On Friday, September 18th, students competed for the 11th consecutive year in Round 1 of Waynesburg Idol. 12 students competed in Round 1, but not all will be moving on to Round 2. Waynesburg Idol continues Friday, September 25th, when we will discover who will move on and who will not, as the contest continues with Round 2.
Coming up next, Sarah Ditzenberger has your business report. Stay tuned.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Despite some dire predictions, Obamacare isn't having much of an impact on hiring by businesses so far, according to a new study. Employers with at least 100 full-time workers must offer health insurance to full-time employees who work 30 or more hours a week or pay a penalty. As of this year, this mandate will start applying to smaller companies with 50 or more full-timers in 2016. Amazon Prime is having a sale. Amazon announced Tuesday that its Prime membership would be available for $67 in honor of the 5 Emmys it took home Sunday at the 67th Annual Emmy Awards. All of them went to the online retailer's original hit show, Transparent. The deal will be available beginning September 25th at midnight and will last for 24 hours. Amazon Prime gives members free 2-day shipping, free same-day delivery, exclusive offers, and usually costs $99 for an annual subscription. The limited time offer is only available to new members. Donald Trump, the GOP frontrunner, has loudly complained about Fox's coverage of his campaign and tweeted advice to the conservative cable news channel's 8 p.m. host, Bill O'Reilly. He retweeted a dozen of his supporters, one of whom called O'Reilly's guests spoon-fed morons. Trump didn't specify who he was talking about, but O'Reilly's guests on Monday included Charles Krauthammer and Brit Hume, both of whom have been skeptical of Trump. Trump posted a few more tweets from his fans on Tuesday morning deploring Fox. The network declined to comment. The Volkswagen emissions scandal will cost billions and could tarnish the entire German auto industry. The company had made bold claims about being greener than other automakers and had a reputation for reliability and quality engineering. Suddenly, the Made in Germany branding doesn't look so hot anymore after it apologized for cheating on diesel car emission tests. Volkswagen, which owns other top brands including Porsche, Audi, and Lamborghini, overtook Toyota as the world's top car maker sales in July, but that position is now at risk, say analysts. Coming up next, David Osepic has your Jacket Sports Update. Stay tuned.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Hello, I'm David Osepic, and I'm here with your Jacket Sports Report. The Waynesburg University volleyball team traveled to Bethany yesterday, losing to the Bison 3-0. The Yellow Jackets were paced by freshman setter Sydney Ayers, who tied for the match lead with 20 assists to go along with an ace and 7 digs. Another freshman, Lexi Walden, led the team with 6 kills, and senior Megan Baylog had a team-best 12 digs. The Jackets return home tonight as they play host to Mount Aloysius. Start time for the match is at 7 o'clock. The Waynesburg University women's tennis team is back in action today as they play host rival Washington and Jefferson. The Yellow Jackets are seeking their first win of the 2015 season, while the Presidents will be trying to keep their undefeated record intact. The match got underway at 3:30. Another Waynesburg team seeking its first win of the season is the men's soccer team, which will be back in action this Saturday night at John F. Wiley Stadium. That will be immediately following the football game, and the Jackets will be taking on Mount Union. Kickoff for the game is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Congratulations to freshmen Jake Daugherty and Sydney Ayers on being named the Waynesburg Athletes of the Week. Daugherty, in his third start for the Yellow Jackets, had his best performance to date, completing 24 of 40 passes for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns without throwing an interception. Ayers was equally as impressive as she led the Jackets to the first win of the 2015 season last week in a thrilling 5-set match win over PAC foe Teal. Against Teal, she had 42 assists, 11 digs, and a pair of aces. Her performance was so impressive, she was honored by being named the Corvus ECAC Division III South Region Rookie of the Year. Of the week. She also marked the first time this fall that a pair of freshmen swept the Athlete of the Week awards. Congratulations to both athletes on their accomplishment. Coming up next, Ryan Schwertfeger will have your weather report. Stay tuned.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Did you take your medicine? Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse.
You need a claim number?
Her personal assistant,
Let me just grab a...
her housekeeper, her cook, her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Hello everyone, Ryan Schwertfeger here in the Channel 14 Weather Center. Outside in Waynesburg right now, it's a beautiful 78 degrees and mostly sunny. Hope you got a chance to go outside, especially this time of year. We don't really get weather this nice, so enjoy it. Open the windows. Take in this last hurrah of the nicer weather before those cooler and colder temperatures from the fall start arriving in the coming weeks. So why don't we take a look at that Channel 14 5-day forecast. As we put that up behind me here, it's going to remain very comfortable, but a bit cloudy with a high of 79 tomorrow and a low in the mid-50s. Saturday also cloudy, but with a high dipping into the lower 70s. Now come Sunday into Monday, however, we are going to see the rain enter with area temperatures in the low 70s, but by Sunday, we're going to be up to almost 80 degrees. So if you're going out, maybe going up to Pittsburgh, make sure you have an umbrella with you on Sunday and Monday. However, starting on Tuesday, the sunshine will return to Waynesburg with a high in the low 80s and lows in the mid-50s. So aside from that rain shower that we're going to be getting this weekend, it looks like the rest of next week is going to be absolutely beautiful. And I would definitely say that, now that we're getting into fall, it's going to get cooler. You should really take advantage of this really nice weather we're having right now. Get outside, have some fun, throw a picnic, I don't know, before you start having to rake all those leaves.
Sounds good to me.
Absolutely, Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Live at 5 this evening.
Be sure to tune in every week for more Channel 14 news.